Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be reacting to and reviewing Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 5, Episode 12, The Real Deal, the 100th episode. This reaction video is going to be a bit different to normal because I finished watching the episode, I reacted to it, I actually spent about half an hour afterwards just like freaking out because of how amazing it was, went to edit it and found that there was no sound. The picture was there, it's a bit out of sync, it took me quite a long time to edit, but I am determined because this episode was so special, because it was the 100th episode, because this show is so important to me, to produce a video for it. I prepared notes so that I can do a proper review about my thoughts throughout the episode, and then there will also be bits where I put in my reaction to certain scenes, particularly scenes like the one I'm finding about Coulson and the end scene, because, oh my goodness. Clark Gregg said this episode would devastate us. Yep, that happened. I was utterly devastated. It was a roller coaster. It was so good. So to start with, we came across the bomb site where the beacon had blown up, and we spotted the nun. And my first thought was, Daisy, St. Agnes's orphanage. Is this sort of something to do with their past it's bringing up? It's the 100th episode. And I did have the thought, could it be Fears? I don't know if that came from the promo or something, but Fears was in my head. Then we saw Lash. I was thinking that's definitely going to bring up things that mean something to us. It's interesting they never revisited the nun, other than Daisy talking to Deke. And then we saw the blue sort of rift in time, and my first thought was, Prisoner Zero has escaped, call the doctor. Matt Smith was going to appear or something. I like the way they brought in the elements of the old characters for this season, 100th episode of Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. That you really felt like it was part of the wider series, but it was still very much connected to this current series. Next we had Yo-Yo recovering. Obviously it's not going to be an easy road. I'm trying to reassure myself because we all know, I mean, I've heard that in the comics she has bionic arms. We've seen Coulson has his hand was chopped off and he now has a fully functioning, extra functioning hand. So I think in the long run Yo-Yo will be just fine. We can give her, she'll have arms, she'll be fine. But for now, obviously it's a really horrible, painful, terrible thing to have happen. For Mac too, to watch it happen, to be powerless to help her in it really. And it's doubly painful for Yo-Yo because to her it's confirming that the future she feared is coming true and that she's about to lose Mac. And oh my goodness, those scenes were, they're so beautiful together, but they were really painful to watch. Sorry if I let down a lot, I have made notes, I'm not used to doing reviews like this. I absolutely love Deke. I think he's a breath of fresh air to this show. I mean, obviously I love all the main characters, but the show's got quite, this season's very dark, and the characters have been through so much that a lot of their lightness isn't there anymore. I mean, you've got Deke, I mean, this spray smells like orange, I bet it tastes nice. Yeah, he's comedic, and I love it. But I also think there's a real realness to it, that of course he's going to find everything fantastic and amazing. I really enjoy him and Daisy together. I think their relationship is really wonderful to watch. I mean, they are getting close, they are becoming friends, but obviously Daisy would never admit it, and they did in a way bond when he told her the story about the orange and then she told him about her family. They were rudely interrupted by a Kree warrior. Very tense. Made me jump the minute I saw it there, and I knew Daisy could handle it, but it was still a very, very tense scene. I mean, I was tense because I knew something weird was going on, and I knew they were in a sort of creepy, abandoned, well, there was no one else around where they were, so I was quite tense. But yeah, that was a good fight scene. It was very tense, and I like that they kind of keep throwing Daisy and Deke together. I think they're very interesting dynamic together. Another thing I really liked with Deke was that they had him be afraid of huge wide open forest with trees and bugs and creatures, because obviously that is completely alien to him, and if you've never experienced that, I can understand why that might be a fear. It's hopefully a fear that by the end of this episode he will have gotten over, because he not only had to go and meet the Quinjet in the field, but for a certain scene at the end he had to go to that same forest. So hopefully that's a fear they can help him get through. But I like that I don't know, things like that are they're interesting. They're funny, but they're also truthful, I think, and interesting, which I'm really enjoying. And then we had Fitz telling everyone that his plan, it might involve one of them sacrificing themselves. No. As you can see, my reaction to that was Fitz, no. No, no, no. I immediately thought, Coulson, he is going to offer to sacrifice himself, isn't he? Because he knows he's dying. He's ready, he thinks he's ready for that. And no matter what, he thinks out of all of them, well, they've got 4 lives left, I'm gonna die. So I was fully expecting him to want to sacrifice himself. And he did, and it was painful. Of course, what was also painful was watching watching both May and Daisy desperately wanting to be the ones to sacrifice themselves. They're so selfless, but also there's that degree of, everyone else is worth more than me, which is very painful. I thought Fitz just volunteering Piper for the job was definitely one of the things that shows an element of framework Fitz still being in there. Obviously our Fitz is wonderful and I love Fitz, but I think he very seriously suggested Piper, and he had a point. You could say, you know, she caused what happened to Yo-Yo to happen, she betrayed them, she stabbed them in the back, as Daisy's about to say, but still offering someone else to go and sacrifice himself is quite dark. And the others kind of just glossed over it, with Coulson being determined, all of them being determined to sacrifice themselves. Then of course Daisy got very upset with Coulson, understandably, about him wanting to sacrifice himself, given that he is s.h.i.e.l.D. to her, and oh, that already had me emotional. And then he collapses and I thought, oh no, they're all going to find out now. I mean, part of me was glad they were going to find out because they need to know, but realising that they were about to find out what was happening with Coulson was utterly devastating for me and for them. And I sort of wanted it to not be happening, wanted them not to know, but of course they found out. Because they were all utterly destroyed by this news, as of course they would be. I think you can see a bit of my very upset reaction to this scene. Daisy was right, they did deserve to know. I get why he didn't tell them, but they did deserve to know. They had a lot of chances, they could have maybe saved him. And this whole scene was utterly heartbreaking, just like this whole plotline is. See how destroyed they all were by this thought? And then Simmons delivering the truth, the news that his heart could stop at any moment. I mean, God, this episode did not hold its back, its punches. Honestly, Coulson has to survive, right? And then Coulson wanted to go and help Daisy. It just, seeing how destroyed they all are by this, it was awful, because they are a family. And I feel destroyed by this, so seeing them get that upset, it just doubly makes it worse, because it's obviously even worse for them. And then May and Coulson, what about Daisy, they are a family, and they're going through hell, and it hurts to watch these people that I care about so much. And then Daisy, Coulson is her father. I mean, yes, she managed to find her parents, but Coulson is her dad. He's the only person in her life who's ever filled that role. He's ever been there for her, cared about her, fought for her in the way a parent should. And hearing this news, and knowing he's kept it from her, and that he, you know, it's part of the reason he forced her to come back from the future was so that she could lead. Just everything about this scene devastates me. So of course Daisy's saying how he found her, he gave her a home, a family, a purpose. Oh gosh, these characters. I mean, Daisy and Coulson's relationship is probably my favourite on the entire show, and this is utterly soul-destroying to watch. I mean, he is what she believes in, and she doesn't want to do it without him. She doesn't think she can do it without him. These scenes felt so real, for such a fantastical premise of how he's dying, why he's dying. The truth of these scenes, their performances just hit you with it, and then of course there's no s.h.i.e.L.D. without you. Oh, I don't know how anyone got through this without being extraordinarily emotional or crying. If a single person was unaffected by this episode, they should seek help, because, oh my god. Oh, it's up there for best in the episode, up there for the most soul-destroying of the show ever. Oh god. So my next thought was, upon seeing Yo-Yo wake up, the thought I'd had previously was, they've left Yo-Yo alone. I know they don't think the fear thing has reached their level yet, but there's weird fear projections appearing everywhere, and Yo-Yo was just left completely alone. She was then attacked by Gemma fear robot thing, and then they left her alone again throughout the rest of the episode. Well, another one could have attacked her in that time. I thought she'd had someone with her for sure. Every scene with Deke outside of the town was utterly terrifying. I was convinced something terrible was going to happen, especially knowing that the cops had recognised Daisy. They had called in support on that front. I mean, Deke got an ice cream, so that was good. We can all celebrate Deke having his first ice cream. I mean, it wasn't the best kind of ice cream, but you know, it was an ice cream. I think I'm pleased that he managed to successfully complete his mission. Well done, Deke, but that was stressful for a while there. And then May and Coulson, I mean, talking about, is this why we took a step back? Is this why they haven't been pursuing their relationship that much this season, which people have noticed? And it's true. That is why Coulson pulls back. Well, I know there was a lot going on, but there would have been moments they could have been there for each other like that, and they weren't. And then May saying that it's her right to choose is 100%. I agree. And of course, Coulson saying it's for the team, and May saying it's more than a team, because they are a family. And they will be there for him until the end. They would do anything for him, just like he would do anything for them. This family, this team means everything to me. The found family trope is one of my absolute favourites, and they destroy me. And then of course, the minute Coulson went down there to do the mission, his video and his comms went dark, because that would never happen. They could never have a mission where you manage to stay in perfect contact with each other through all the scary parts. And then seeing Mike Peterson looking like he did the day Coulson first met him, the day the team first came together and it all happened. And I really, really enjoyed the fear dynamic of trying to convince him all that this was all a dream and that he'd been dying this entire time. Because, you know, Coulson has told himself he's come to terms with dying, but he really, deep down, he really hasn't, not truly. And I mean, it's hard for him, someone that's been through all he's been through. He got a second chance, like I said to May, you can't be greedy, but you want to live, you want to see more of, you want to keep going, you want to keep experiencing, keep being a hero, keep being around this family that you've created for yourself. And then the flashes of the whole team and his family, yeah, that was a lot. And I was thinking, I've never seen Daisy in these flashes. And then the daughter he never had. Like I said, this relationship is so important to me. I lost it a little bit this episode. Oh my god, it knew exactly how to hit me and it just kept doing it again and again and again. I was very happy when the Quinjet turned out to be Deke with a bunch of S.h.i.e.L.D. people and Mike Peterson, the real Mike Peterson. It was wonderful to see him again. I sort of think, I know he's worked solo, but right now they could probably do with his help to stop the world destroying, but that's fine. That was good. I'm glad Deke managed to successfully do something to show he was competent, at least a little bit. And then it was great to see Mike and Coulson fighting Lash, and then fighting Hive. Shooting Hive in the face, that will never get old. I could watch Hive projections appearing and being killed over and over and over again. I hate Hive a lot. Could have been good if he had his ward face on too, but kind of everything. And they were successful. They managed to temporarily close the rift, although as we later learned from Fitz, it was just a temporary fix. It wasn't a permanent solution. So obviously that's going to be a problem, that this rift is there. It could be part of what destroys the world, or it could not. It could just be another issue they have to face that maybe takes some of their attention away from trying to save the world. And then they were having their wonderful conversation where again Deke thought they were thanking him for being wonderful, and they were like, yeah, we met Mike, yeah, we totally met Mike. That was wonderful. And then suddenly it clicked in my head. Oh my goodness, they are going to Fitzsimmons' wedding. And I was gone. It was so beautiful. Having it in Deke's Fear Forest was lovely. And I mean, he found them all the clothes and everything, that was part of his mission. It was really, really beautiful to watch. The look on Fitz's face as he stepped out and then he sees Simmons, it's just beautiful, isn't it? They looked great and they were all together, their family. Mac there with the camera, I presume a video chat to Yo-Yo or filming it, I don't know. I'm assuming Yo-Yo because she didn't manage to be there, they didn't wheel the hospital check that up.
He couldn't find you a kilt?
Fitz not having a kilt, he got by. No. It was just lovely, Coulson officiating. It was beautiful. It was everything we'd hoped for Fitzsimmons. They've been through so much throughout this show, and as Coulson kept referring to, we all knew this day would come, but as part of us thought it would never come because the universe continually rips them apart. So seeing them finally get together, it was beautiful for them, it was beautiful for the team as his family to finally get to see them together. I know that it was exactly what I needed. I needed something good and uplifting like this, and I think the team, the audience, the characters, everyone needed that. So that was really beautiful, and the casual Mike and Deke comment throughout started off as really funny, became quite life-changing by the end. And then the vows. Beautiful vows.
I knew from the moment I saw you, from our first conversation about dielectric polarization, that you'd be in my life for a long time. But I didn't know you would be my life, my heart, my home. We joined this team for adventures and got more than we had hoped. I can't wait for our next adventure, building a family together. My love for you grows deeper and always will. No matter where the universe takes us next.
Oh, they're all just so happy, and it's been a while since this team has truly looked happy. And this was such a happy occasion, and I'm going to say the word happy a lot now. They could be truly happy and comfortable, and this is something they've all rooted for, and we've earned it. Fitzsimmons have earned this. As viewers, we have earned this.
Okay, I've been thinking about what to say. Words don't really seem enough. I think that you are perfect. And, I don't deserve you, Gemma. I don't deserve you. And I'm well aware that I'm the luckiest man on any planet.
This wedding was truly beautiful. It was just family and some random S.h.i.e.L.D. people that I was unsure if I was meant to recognise in the background, I have to be honest. But this was so beautiful. And then they exchanged the rings, the very significant rings.
Okay, Fitz, repeat after me. With this ring.
And Fitzsimmons is now truly Fitzsimmons. They are both perfect together. And I love them so much. And we've needed this moment.
So you got the rings, huh? It's a nice one.
And it's about this point that you're about to watch my sudden realisation that all the theories about Deke being related to someone from the team are true. And that Deke's grandmother had Simmons' ring.
It's just like this one that my mom used to wear sometimes. It was my grandma's, I think.
Yep, there we go. It hit me and oh my goodness, I freaked out about this for about half an hour afterwards. It was the whole episode I was freaking out about, but this realisation. He's related to two people from the team, Fitzsimmons. I don't even know why I reacted as much as I did. It's kind of embarrassing to watch back. But it just, I don't know, Fitzsimmons, their grandchild, is this character that we've come to know and I've come to love as a character. He's there with them unknowingly at his grandparents' wedding. It's so beautiful. I mean, I don't know why his parents never told him the names of his grandparents, but I mean, with the post-apocalyptic world and maybe the original S.h.i.e.L.D. people being people around the Kree, you might not want to be too vocal about being related to. He's with both of them. He's on the side of both of them. He does know them. He's on the side of both of them. Oh my goodness, what a way to end. And as you can see, I was utterly wrecked by the end of this episode. I mean, I feel like my soul was ripped apart, put back together again, torn apart again. Just the absolute highs and lows of this episode. We went from all the stuff with Coulson dying that was utterly crushing, and I felt like mourning him already. It was just the way the team, of course, reacted to it was awful, to the joyousness of Fitzsimmons' wedding at the end, and then the absolute mind-flipping finding out that Deke is their grandson, because I have seen people talking about how maybe he's ascended to the team, but it just makes so much sense, and it's so beautiful as a thing that this character that, like I said, we love. I love Deke now. We know him, he's one of us, and he is Fitzsimmons' grandson. So it was utterly beautiful, and what a fantastic way to end the episode. So I'm sorry this review reaction was a little strange. I've not done it like this before, I don't really know what I'm doing, but this episode was too special to abandon completely. Wow, this episode, I love Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. and it pulls episodes like this out of the bag frequently, but as the 100th episode they really stepped it up and it was amazing. I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with any more of these episodes because they're going to devastate me. I'm really hoping at some point Fitzsimmons are going to find out Deke is their grandson, because I just think they deserve to know. They all deserve to know. He deserves to know that, you know, he's lost his parents, but in a weird way he's got family, that he can be part of our team as a family, as he's got Fitzsimmons. Oh, I will stop rambling now because I doubt anyone has watched this far, but if you have, thank you for watching me go on this absolute crazy ramble of a Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. reaction. Hopefully things will be back to normal next week. I love this show.